I do. Okay, show. All right, so here we are. We're going to work on lesson 5A part 2 so that we can review for our midterm exam. This is number 11. Find the perimeter of this triangle. So you guys, this one is supposed to be in an easy form because remember the easiest form, the most famous right triangle is 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, so 3, 4, 5 is your pattern. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 8, 4 is 8, 3 times 5 is, 2 times 5, what am I saying, is 10, right? Okay, you're going straight to the answer, but what I'm wanting to do is show the work. Okay, so yelling out the answer is not what we want to do. We want to look at the work, okay? So, now, what's the other way you could do it? 6 squared plus 8 squared.
That's the way I did it.
And that's fine.
100.
Equals c squared, right? So that would be 36.
Or you could just
plus.
multiply 8 times 6 and then cut that number in half.
So basically, we're going to do 64 equals 100, which is c squared. So 10 is c. So whether you do it with the pattern 3, 4, 5, or whether you do it with the Pythagorean theorem, you should get 10. Then the perimeter is adding them all together. 10 plus 6 plus 8 is 24. And that's centimeters. Okay. Number 2, follow the order of operations and simplify the following expression. So where will I start? Who wants to answer that question? Kira. Go ahead, Kira. Parentheses innermost. So parentheses, we go innermost to outermost, don't we? So 3 minus 1 is?
10. 1.
Okay, 3 minus 1 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, so then we have 10, take away 10 inside this bracket, and that is 0. So then we have 20, take away 0 is 20. Okay, so the answer is 20. Number 3 is x times x, y times y times y. So x times x is x squared, y cubed over z to the 4th. Okay?
Yeah, I see what I did.
This one?
Yeah, because don't you do the same?
Okay, so basically we did the parentheses is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0.
Yeah, it's parentheses.
So,
Don't you do them separate and then you multiply?
no, you do everything in here first, and you started here. So then it's 20 minus 0.
I think I know what's tripping her up.
No, I'm not.
Okay, what is tripping her up?
This is multiplied. There's no symbol, but it's basically
Okay.
the same as like 3x.
I know.
So this is 5.
I know that when you put two numbers together, it's multiplication.
Okay.
Then how did you get it wrong?
Because I thought you do them separately and then you multiply them.
Oh yeah, you are you trying to do this one first?
Yeah.
No, you have to do this and then multiply before you do any addition or subtraction. Multiplying is higher order.
But parentheses comes before multiplication.
Okay, so let's do this together. 10 minus
She is right about that.
5, watch this, times 2. Okay, you understand that part?
Yeah.
The 5 times 2 has to take priority over the minus because multiplication is a higher order. So that's how you get the 10 minus 10. Yes.
But you can also do this. You can do 2, bring down the 2, 5, 10, and minus 10, and 2, and then you could, instead of putting, you take the 2 out of parentheses, and then multiply 5 times 2.
Yeah, 5 times 2 is what you're doing right there. 5 times 2.
Yeah, but instead
And
of
10.
using the parentheses, you can bring it down and put the dot representing the multiplication.
Well, you could, but
Yeah.
they mean the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know that, but that's.
All right, so number 14. Find 1/2 base times height when base is 12 and height is 8. All right, so 1/2. Go ahead, Kara. What do we do? Base times height. And the base is 12. And the height is 8. I should hear no talking behind me.
Oh, no, sorry.
1/2 times 12 is 6. And 6 times 8 is 48.
Wait,
Now, since it is,
don't you have to have the 8 as well?
well, it is 6 times 8 is 48. So 1/2 of 12 is 6.
Yep.
6 times 8 is 48. Okay, so I'm going to put square units. Now,
Well, it's
the
not
reason,
looking for square units.
well, I'm going to put that there because I know that 1/2 base times height is the area formula.
Yeah,
But
Okay.
It's not asking for area. It's treating it as.
For questions 15 and 16, solve for x by inspection. Okay, I'm going to do it without inspection. I'm just going to solve. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. My goal is to get the x by itself, right? So I'm going to get 2x on this side. These are going to go away. And 50 minus 10 is 40. And divide by 2. And divide by 2 on the other side. And we get x is 20. Now the smart thing to do is to take our x is 20, go back in here, plug it in. 2 times 20 is 40 plus 10 is 50, which equals what we're supposed to have. Okay, number 6. And we're supposed to do this one by inspection. This one's a little tougher. I'm going to go ahead and say, now there's 2 ways to do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this with just fractions. I'm going to change the 1 to a 5/5. 5/5 minus something is 2/5. Okay, can you tell me by inspection what would go in there? 3/5, right? 5/5. That's the easiest way to do that one. Another way to do it is multiply everything by 5 and get rid of the fraction. But we're just doing it by inspection right now. For questions 17 through 20, simplify the expression. Okay, now can we do a little bit of cancellation here? Make that a 3 and a 1, and that is going to be a 1 and a 2. Does everybody understand how I did that? Okay, so on the top we're going to get 2, on the bottom we're going to get 3, and that is the answer. Number 8. Now, when we're dividing by a fraction, what do we do?
You change what?
Okay, so 3/5 times, and we flip over to get the reciprocal of the divisor. Okay, so now we can cancel out the 3's and get 4/5. Number 19. Okay, so 2.4, let's come over here and do our subtraction point. We'll put our 0.24. Okay, now we're going to make this one a 0 just because I want to even everything out, right? So we're going to take that, make that a 3, 10, doing my borrowing. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3 minus 2 is 1, and 2.16. So we have 2.16 divided by 2, which is going to be what? 1.08, right? Does everybody understand why it's 1.08, not 1.8, right? Okay. Number 20 is 0.12 squared. 0.12 times 0.12. Now remember, some of you are getting confused with your multiplication, and you're trying to carry this decimal down like you do in addition or subtraction. That's more than one of you that are doing that mistake. So in multiplication, we just multiply 12 by 12, which is 144, and then we start at the end and we count 1, 2, 3, 4 decimals. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put in a 0 to hold the spot. So 0.0144. And that is your answer, 0.0144. Okay, so here we have two problems that I added in because they were part of your final review, part of your final exam, and I needed to make sure they were on your final review. So we're going to do 1.5 times 1 2/3. So 1.5 written as an improper fraction would be 3/2. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3, 3/2 times 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2 is 5/3. So because we're multiplying, we can cancel a numerator and a denominator, and we're going to get 5/2 as the answer. Or, since this started in mixed numbers, we should put it back into mixed numbers. That's a convention in math that we start and end with the same type of an answer. So 2.5 would be the correct answer. And lastly, I need to move this down. Okay, so we have 2 2/3 divided by 1 1/2. So we're going to write these as improper fractions. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. So that's going to be 8/3 divided by, and then 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3/2. So now we're going to have to multiply by the reciprocal, which is going to be 8/3 times, flip this one over, 2/3 is 16/9. Now 16 and 9 have no common factors. So we're going to, again, turn it into a mixed number because we started with mixed numbers. So 16 divided by 9 is 1 with 7 left over. So 1 7/9 is the final answer. And we have done all of the review for your final exam, which is going to be Wednesday. So remember that I already had 5 of the 6 pages out there, both in PowerPoint on Teams and videos on YouTube in your playlist. So you have everything that you need to review thoroughly for your final. If you can do all of the problems that were on those 6 sheets of final exam review, you should be in really good shape for the final. Make sure that you print those off and take them cold as practice. The original practices are all on your Teams for you to print up as many copies as you need. So we are done reviewing. This is Mrs. A, and may God bless your day.